Hey witches, welcome to the White Witch podcast with me, Carly. This week we have a Litha special with Litha falling this week Saturday here in the Northern Hemisphere. So Litha is also known as Midsummer or the Summer Solstice, and it takes place on a date usually between 20th to 24th of June in the Northern Hemisphere and between 20th to 24th December in the Southern Hemisphere. It changes every year. This is dependent on which day is the longest. This year in the Northern Hemisphere, it falls on Saturday, so that's the 20th of June. Litha is the ancient Germanic name for summer. So it will always fall on the longest day with the shortest night of the year. And it's a time when the sun god is at his most fertile. Everything on the earth is in full bloom. It's a time of celebrating success and potential. So Litha is here to remind us that we rely on the sun for all that we do, and it's a time to give thanks to the sun gods for their energy. So following on from Litha, days will very gradually become shorter again. Darkness will start to take over, but summer and warmth will stick around for longer still. So at this time, we must be mindful to reap what we sow, enjoy the harvest that is soon to come to us. So obviously the harvest is coming soon. It's a pause where we reflect and enjoy the seeds we have sown in our lives and our gardens. We are celebrating the good days before the darker days arrive. We're celebrating our abundance, fertility, and success. So this is a celebration of the triple goddess's pregnancy, which is by the horned god. And it's said to be a time where the Oak King is ruling the waxing half of the year, so he is at his strongest. The Holly King rules the waning half of the year, and it's said that these two kings battle it out, and the Holly King eventually takes over from the Oak King. Litha is also sacred to the horse goddess Epona. She is a mother goddess of the fruits of the fields and orchards, and she represents abundance. The cornucopia is a symbol of Epona's bounty. Druids knew this celebration as Alban Haruin. So obviously, as we know, each year witches, pagans and muggles gather at Stonehenge in the UK to celebrate the solstice. It's not taking place this year, but it is actually live streaming for free. So you may want to check that out. It's absolutely beautiful. So Stonehenge was actually aligned to the summer solstice around 4,000 years ago. Many other similar stoneworks are aligned to the solstice, and this confirms how important this day is across cultures around the world. So Litha is the time for your big magic. So any important and major spell work you need to carry out, this is the best time to do it and put it into action. This is because the energy is so high. So this is the time to harness the energy of the earth being at its peak. So it's a potent time for focusing on spells and rituals relating to purification, health for the coming winter, love, passion, magic relating to the fae, energy, luck, and abundance. Litha is also traditionally a time for weddings or hand fastings. So overall, it's a magical time to come together as a couple. And due to it being a time of fertility, if you and your partner are considering it, it is a really good time to try to become pregnant. Litha is a perfect time to start a new business as well, begin a new hobby, start any projects, start a savings account, and also to invest money. So the solstice was traditionally celebrated through bonfires or torchlight processions due to it being a fire festival. This correlates to the sun and its power. It's us giving thanks to the sun god to grow a bountiful harvest. So bonfires were believed to be able to strengthen solar deities and would ensure a good harvest. And some other celebrations traditionally included a ritual which would honour both fire and water in balance, as it is seen that the sun could easily scorch the earth and damage the harvest through a drought. So they would set large wheels on fire and roll them downhill into a lake, river, or water source to combine the two. Litha is a great time to collect herbs. They can bolt or taste bitter if they succumb to too much hot weather. So herbs that you could harvest at this time to get them at their best are bay leaves, carnation, chamomile, chicory, delphinium, elderflower, eyebright, fennel, honeysuckle, ivy, lavender, mistletoe, mugwort, oak, passion flower, pine, rose, saffron, St. John's wort, sunflowers, thyme, vervain, yarrow. So you may want to add them to your Litha celebrations. You could throw them into a bonfire. You might want to burn them as incense. Any magic using herbs at this time is really strong. And also any flowers or fruits that you can find that are a really good way to add to your altar. Use them as offerings more so, especially if you have foraged or grown them yourself. Fruits symbolize the sun's fertility. So just got some different ways that you may want to have a go at celebrating Litha. So making wands at Litha is said to be a time when historically ash sticks would be gathered for this purpose. Any fire held this day is sacred and holy. So Litha is a fire festival. We honour the sun's energy through either bonfires, lighting a candle, candle magic, or smoke cleansing your home or possessions. If you do have a bonfire, it's tradition to jump over the fire and then let the fire burn down completely. The ashes will be collected and scattered onto the fields or onto their herb gardens to bring luck to the harvesting season coming in the near future. You may want to keep ashes from your bonfire for luck within spell work or rituals. You might want to listen to the sun magic episode I covered if you want any good ideas for sun magic. So you can make sun water, drawing down the sun, making a sun candle. It's a great time at Litha to go for a long walk, a bike ride, a hike, do any gardening, just any activity that involves being out in the sun. Litha or midsummer is rife with fae energy, so be sure to be considerate of them and their presence. If you work with them already or feel called to, you might want to leave them an offering. At this time, the fae are said to be riding magical animals across the countryside. So you might want to hang out in your garden, or if you've got any fields or woods nearby, just to see if you can see any sign of them. Bells and offerings such as sparkly decorations, in addition to food and drink, are a great way to honour them. For more on this, listen to my episode on the fae and the offerings they like and how to work with them. You might want to get up for the sunrise or watch the sunset. You might want to have a go at sunrise or sunset yoga. You can make energy bags with herbs and crystals relating to the sun. You might want to create a time capsule envelope. So write down all your hopes, dreams, resolutions, put them in an envelope to open at Litha next year. You may want to press wildflowers into your book of shadows. You may want to have a go at cloud scrying. So looking for and interpreting images from the clouds. You may want to make a gratitude list. So the solstice relates to the sun card in tarot, which is all about basking in the sun's glory and noticing the good happening in your life. So thank the universe or your higher power or the deities for all the good things. Gratitude is so powerful, it can really raise your vibration. You may want to set intentions for what you want to release and for the sun's energy to help you heal. So sit with the sun on you and envisage it wrapping itself around you like a warm, nurturing blanket. Let it seep into your bones. Allow the sun to provide and bless you with what you need in order to heal. You may want to use any bonfires or fires or candles that you burn for some fire scrying. Water scrying is also popular at Litha too. Like I mentioned before, with a balance of both water and fire for the harvest. So you may want to use a bowl filled with water or scribe patterns in the sea or a lake or a river. You could make yourself a flower crown. So think the crazy one from Midsummer, the horror movie. And it is also said that dreams are more lucid on Litha due to strong energies from the sky and the earth. So you might want to have a go at making a dream catcher or starting up a dream journal. So for your altar, decorating your altar with seasonal objects is really key for this Sabbath, as it reminds us to stay focused on the present moment in the wheel of the year. So you may wish to add sun symbolisms and dried citrus ornaments, anything pertaining to the sun. Again, there's more in my Sun Magic episode on that. You may want to honour solar deities with offerings, prayers. Some of the sun gods and goddesses include Horus, Sol, Ain, Belanos, Helios, Etain, Yuyi, Macha, Ra, Sana, and Hutzilotpochtli. I have not pronounced that correctly. If you are a sea witch, it's definitely good at this time to visit the beach, add more shells, stones, driftwood to your altar, or to make new witch tools. So I'm just referring to my old trusty faithful Wicca by Harmony Nice, because it's really good in regards to the Sabbaths and way to celebrate. So in regards to your altar, you may wish to light green, yellow, gold and red candles to represent the sun god at his peak and the green earth at its fullest. You may wish to decorate your altar with summer flowers such as sunflowers, carnations, poppies and hydrangeas. You may wish to place a ring of flowers around your altar or around specific items for protection. Litha is great for any work that you do need to use in regards to protection. Again, pictures of the sun or ornaments symbolizing the sun honor the sun god being at his peak. You may wish to add oak leaves to represent the Oak King, who has been ruling for this half of the year, but will be laid to rest soon. And you may wish to add gold, yellow and orange ribbons and cloth that can be draped at your altar. So food and drink that you may wish to partake in: warm coloured vegetables such as butternut squash, sweet potato, carrots and tomatoes. These are all great to eat around this time of the year, as they represent warmth and the wonderful produce we receive from the summer. So homegrown or locally produced leafy green vegetables, spicy foods, curries, spiced cakes, spiced punch and rum, anything with honey, or as an alternative, golden or maple syrup if you're vegan or you don't eat honey. But bees are another representation of Litha. The midsummer full moon is actually also known as the honeymoon. And barbecued food or flame grilled food is good to eat too. Once again, it represents the heat and the sun's energy. So crystals that you may wish to carry around with you this time of year, or to meditate with, to use in divination and spell work, or to place at your altar, you've got emerald, sunstone, citrine, yellow tourmaline, yellow topaz, calcite. And good incense to use for, say, casting circles, burning at your altar at Litha. For cleansing, consecrating, or magical workings, you've got lavender, citrus scents such as orange and lemon, musk, pine, rose, any summer flowers. So for me on Litha, I will be having a feast with my family. Me and my friend, we're also setting off early for the sunrise. I've already collected some wood to make a wand around this time. Also working on a hanging wooden rail thingy from like a huge branch from a tree that I'm working on hanging herbs and flowers on to dry. So I'm looking at baking bread, lemon cake. I want to make rose and mint tea from my garden produce. So I've also been making salads with like flowers, herbs and vegetables from my garden. So I have a bit of a shameless plug here, because this is something I'm going to be launching at Litha. I'm actually launching my own witchy clothing brand with all my own designs. So that's coming soon if you fancy checking it out. If you do want to sign up for any future updates on the show, but also anything that I'm working on in the future, as there is a lot going on behind the scenes, you might want to come over to my website. It's pretty basic at the moment, but it is getting there. So my website is www.thewhitewitchcompany.co.uk. So I will be starting up a blog on there. The first post will be a list of all the books reviewed on the show so far. There'll be loads of witchy topics on there. There is a newsletter you can sign up for, which is, again, if you check out on the website, you can sign up for that on there. Like I said on last week's episode, I've got Samhain on my mind. So if you have any ghost stories that you are happy to share, please email me on carly@thewhitewitchcompany.co.uk. I can read them anonymously. So I'll be reading these out on the Samhain episodes coming up in October. Obviously, you all know when Halloween is. So I've also started up a Litha playlist on Spotify, just songs I have put together that remind me of Litha. If you fancy checking that out, it's under the White Witch Company on Spotify. I've also got a few other like witchy playlists on there, and I'm going to work on building that up. So you might want to check it out, entirely optional. As ever, I'm so humbled. I'm so grateful for your reviews, any messages that you send me. Thank you. It means a lot. Honestly, it just genuinely keeps me going. So if you feel that way inclined, you're happy to leave me a review, I'm ever so grateful. I'm grateful for reviews I've had recently. And other than that, if you want to catch me on Facebook, it's The White Witch Company. I'm over on Instagram at The White Witch Company. Other than that, have a fantastic Litha. If you do carry out anything from the list that I've given today and you want to share it, please do tag me on Instagram or Facebook. You know, if you make anything, or love to see how you enjoy it. Other than that, have a great week, witches. I will catch up with you next week.